Have you ever wondered why your depth unsettles people? Why the more you grow, the more alone you feel? Why your silence, your calmness, your refusal to play emotional games makes you feel invisible to the very people you thought would admire it? You've spent years trying to become stable, grounded, stoic, and yet the more peace you find, the less seen you are. And here's the part no one tells you: this isn't an accident. Marcus Aurelius warned us about this, not directly about women, but about the danger of becoming so internally sovereign that the world no longer knows how to respond to you. Because once you stop chasing validation, once you stop explaining yourself, performing, reacting, apologizing for your existence, you don't just become powerful, you become unrecognizable. And most people, especially women, don't fall in love with what they don't understand. They fall in love with what reflects them. And you reflect something they haven't made peace with yet: inner stillness. Marcus wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." That line has been printed on mugs, posters, and Instagram captions, but almost no one really understands what it means. It means that a man's true power lies in mastering his own mind, not controlling others, not being admired, not having approval from women. You are either ruled by your mind, or you're a slave to your emotions. And when you finally stop being ruled by emotion, people can't figure you out. You don't flinch. You don't chase. You become untouchable. And here's the paradox. That untouchability, the very thing that makes you powerful, makes most women feel unsafe. Not because you're dangerous, but because you're immune to manipulation. See, modern relationships are built on feedback loops. If she cries, you comfort her. If she pulls away, you chase. If she gets insecure, you reassure. This is the dance most men are trained to follow. But stoic men don't dance, they observe. And when you observe instead of react, she starts to panic. Because she can't read you. She can't shape you. She can't move you. You think your calm will make her stay. But to someone who hasn't developed emotional maturity, stillness looks like indifference. Peace looks like disinterest. And emotional sovereignty feels like emotional distance. So she leaves, or she tests you, or she accuses you of not caring. But you do care. You just don't perform. Most men collapse here. They trade their calm for chaos just to be seen again. They raise their voice. They chase. They become emotionally volatile, not because they want to, but because they're terrified of being misunderstood. But a stoic man doesn't fear being misunderstood. He fears losing his center. Marcus warned of this exact thing when he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Let me explain that clearly. It means you are not hurt by her walking away. You are hurt by what you think it means. You are assigning meaning to something that does not define you. And that is where you must wake up. So many men believe that if they become strong, grounded, wise, they will finally be loved. They think, once I'm stable enough, calm enough, she'll stop leaving. But that's not how this works. Your growth doesn't guarantee love, it filters it. You don't become more lovable to everyone. You become incomprehensible to most. Because most people, even today, don't want to encounter a truly sovereign man. They want someone who's strong until they cry, firm until tested, present until threatened. They want you balanced, but only if they can shake your balance when they feel like it. And when they realize they can't, they'll call you distant, unavailable, cold. But you're not cold, you're awake. You see, calmness is only threatening to those who rely on emotional control. If someone needs your reaction to feel powerful, your silence becomes a threat. And so, the Stoic man walks alone. Marcus wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live." To live, in his philosophy, is not just to exist. It is to break free from the expectations that enslave most men. To stop living for applause. To stop shaping yourself around what women want. To stop abandoning your own mind just to fit into a role. Living begins when performance ends. And that's the moment you become invisible to the shallow, but unforgettable to the few who can actually see. Because here's the truth. Most women don't want to meet a Stoic man. They want to mold one. They want a man who seems grounded, but still bends for them. They want your strength until your strength refuses to bend. And then they leave. Not because you're not enough, but because you are not available to be rewritten. Let's go deeper. There's a quiet war happening today between two kinds of men, those who orbit around women and those who orbit around principle. The first group will always be louder. They'll flood your feed with advice on how to attract her back, how to text to make her chase you, how to stay alpha but sensitive. They don't want sovereignty. They want strategy. But the Stoic man doesn't strategize for affection. He builds himself, whether anyone applauds or not. And in that solitude, something powerful happens. You begin to see what others don't. You notice how often love is used as currency. How many men are willing to betray themselves just to feel desired? How many women are looking not for partners, but for emotional mirrors? You begin to understand that most modern relationships aren't built on virtue. They're built on negotiation. And so you opt out, not because you hate women, not because you're bitter, but because you refuse to be a character in someone else's story. Marcus Aurelius never wrote to be admired. He wrote to survive himself. He never said, "Become Stoic to be loved." He said, "Become Stoic to live." And when you take that path, you have to understand what you're giving up. You will not be chosen by everyone. You will not be understood by many, but you will be unshakable. And that is what this world fears the most. A man who cannot be seduced. A man who cannot be manipulated. A man who sees the chaos and chooses peace anyway. So if you've ever felt invisible, it might be because you're finally real. If you've ever felt rejected, it might be because you've stopped performing. If your silence has made people uncomfortable, good. Because silence reveals. It separates the ones who wanted your presence from the ones who only loved your performance. If this made something click inside you, don't just scroll past. Share this with another man who's waking up. Like the video, subscribe, and remember, the Stoic man does not chase attention. He builds himself in the quiet until his presence speaks louder than any performance ever could.